everyone, it's Ashley here for Not2Shabby, and I am back to share with you my design team project for this week. Today I'm going to be making this really precious little scene card, and I'm going to be using the new MFT scene card builder so that it kind of sets the scene for you, and then you can just add on your cute little images. And I just love this little birthday card. It is really cute for a summer or spring birthday. So I'm just going to show it to you up close here, and I do have some Spectrum Noir glitter on there. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but it's nice and sparkly. So I'll share with you first the products I'll be using. This is the first stamp set that I used. It is by MFT, and it's called Up in the Air, and that's what I used for the two cute little air balloons, and then on top of them I popped the little dog and the bear, and I used that elephant on the little fence. I also used that little banner, and then I got the sentiments from this set, which are happy birthday, you're growing up, up, up. Then I used this My Favorite Thing scene builder, and this is the spring scene builder. It is so easy to use, and I love this so much. I know I'll be using it a lot. So I used that to make the background. And then I just pulled this die from my stash. It is the Gina Marie rounded stitched rectangles, and I used that just for the base there. And then I used a ton of pattern papers. These are my favorite pattern papers that are now in the shop. This one is the Doodlebug Fairy Tales, and it has unicorns and birthday and bright colors, so I really love this one. So that's where the little polka dot background came from there, that pink one. And then I also used this set, and this is the Dots and Stripes Confection 6x6 paper pad by My Favorite Things, and I used that blue polka dot for the sky, and then I used this Dots and Stripes bright set for the grass and also the little tops of the trees. And then this is an older set. This is the Homespun Gingham, and I used that brown gingham for the little path, the fence, and the tree trunks. So I'm going to show you the card up once more close, and then I'm going to get right into the process video. So to begin with, we're going to die cut out all of our pieces that we need for the scene builder, and I'm just using my wire snips to trim those apart. And I really like how this die comes on a magnetic sheet, so it's nice and easy to store. So I'm just using this green polka dot paper, and I'm using that for the hill and also for that green grass border. Then I'm also going to use that paper for the tops of the trees, and I think it's fun to use pattern paper. It gives it kind of like a paper pieced feel, and it just adds a little bit of cuteness to it. Then I'm taking some white cardstock and cutting out the clouds, and there's two different sizes, so I cut those each out twice. Then I'm just taking this brown gingham paper, and I'm going to cut out the little fence, the hill, or the little path, and the little tree trunks. And I love that little fence because it makes it look dimensional. It has it bigger at the front and smaller at the back. So I'm just taking my pieces, and I'm going to adhere on this grass onto this hill. And then I'm going to adhere the hill onto my paper. This way I can get the stitching all the way around my panel of my card. So I'm just going to take that rounded stitched rectangle, and I'm using the largest size that I had there. And then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. This is going to allow stitching to go on the side of the hill as well as the bottom of the grass and just give it a nice finishing touch. So I'm just taking an A2 size card base that I have, and I'm just going to use my scissors and trim out this pattern paper to fit on the background of that card, and I'm just using my ATG gun to adhere that. Then I'm going to take that panel with the sky and grass and adhere that down. And now I've got the background of my card. So now let's get started with the stamping. So I'm going to take my Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, and I'm going to stamp that out. I'm going to stamp out one of each of the little air balloons. And then these little critters are so cute. These are from past collections, and they kept the little heads of some of the past collections. There's a little elephant set, and I believe it's in the shop right now. And there's a dog set, so you kind of get like something from each of the sets, which is really cute. I also stamp out two of the little houses. I don't end up using those in the end, but I just have them there because I thought at the beginning I was going to use them. I did the two little birds, and then I also did this cute little banner. And now I'm going to get started with the coloring. So to begin with, I'm doing the birds using B02 and blending that out with B00. And these birds are cute. You could have them holding the banner, or they could be flying in the air like around the clouds or just in the sky the way that I did it. And I go back and forth, just making sure that I have a nice blend there. Then I'm going to take YR07 for the beak of the birds. And then I'm going to use E59 for the bear. So I'm just doing the darkest portions, and then I'm going in with E57 and blending that out. And then I go in with E55 and blend that, and then I'm going to use that E55 as well for the muzzle. So I'm going around the muzzle and the bottom of the nose, and then I go in with E53 to blend that, and back in with the E55 just to get a nice blend there. And then I also used E55 and E53 inside the ears and R20 on the cheeks. Now I'm just adding on some black jelly pen onto the eyes and nose, and you can see how it really just pops. I love those so much. They add so much to your stamps. So if you don't have those, I highly recommend them. They will change your life. So now I'm using E57 and E55 to do the dog. And then I'm going in with E53 to get a nice blend there. And then I go back in with E55, E53, and then I go back in with E57. I really just wanted to get a nice variation, like blend. And then I used R20 for the cheeks and just put a little bit of E53 over top of it. And then I added with the black jelly pen the eyes and nose, and I will go back to add a little detail on that after. Then I use R22 and R20 for the ears of the elephant, and I'm using N4 for the darkest portions. And then blending that out using N0. Then I go back in with N4 and again blend it out with N0. And then I use R20 to give some pink to her cheeks. And then I added a little bit of N0 over the ears just to tone down that bright pink color a little bit. And then I used the black jelly pen and white jelly pen. And then I forgot to do the little cheeks of the bird, so I'm going in to do the pink there. And then I add a little white strip and a dot on the dog's nose and the pink cheeks. For the banner, I'm using R14, R13, and R11. And then I'm going to go in with purple for the other spots. I'm using B13 and V1, V01. And now I'm going to do the air balloon. So I'm using B02 for those little polka dots, and then blending that out with B000. And B02 for the same for the bottom part, and B000. And I love these air balloons. You could color them up so many different ways and bright different colors. Then for the basket, I use E55 and E53. And then I use that same color combo for the other part of the basket. And then I'm going to do the purple of the air balloon, so I'm using BV13. And then I also add a little bit of that under the polka dots just to give it a little bit of dimension, and I blend that out with BV01. Now I'm going to do the pink part of the other air balloon. I'm going to use RV14 and RV13 and then blend that out with RV11. And I had actually been air balloon like riding before, like I've been in an air balloon, and it was literally the scariest thing ever. Like it was so freaky. I don't know, it was so scary doing it. So then this one is YG06, YG03, and YG00. My husband's parents had got us air balloon tickets for a Christmas present, and we went with my brother-in-laws, and it was super fun, but I definitely have to say I was totally scared and freaked out completely. Now I'm just going in with my white jelly pen, and I'm going to add some stripes to the pink one and polka dot on the purple one. And there is coordinating dies for this set that you can purchase separately, and I will link them below. I just used my sewing scissors to trim these out. And then I also went back in with my white jelly pen and just added a little bit of stripes on the pink part of the air balloon there. And now I'm just going to cut it out, leaving a little bit of white around the edge of the image. And these are so cute. There's a larger air balloon that comes in this set, so you can have all the different animals riding the air balloon, but you can also, the way that I did it was put the animals on top of these little air balloons, which I think is really cute. And then the little elephant I have peeking over the fence, so these are perfect little critters to be peeking. And then I'm just cutting out that little banner. And then we will get into assembling the card. So now that I have all of my pieces, we can start to set up the card. So I'm kind of just taking all the pieces and setting them on so I can get an idea of where everything's gonna go. And the pieces that I'm putting first are the ones that came with that little scene builder set, which, how cute is that scene? It's like a perfect scene, and you can literally take any stamp set and just like create a little scene with the images that you have. So I put those little animals on top of the air balloon, and then I've got the little elephant peeking out from behind the fence. And there's different things you could do with the banner, but I decide to put the image, the sentiment at the bottom there, and I just put the birds up in the clouds, and I decide to put that little banner on the fence. That way you can't see that only the top part of the elephant is peeking over. It's not missing its body. So by putting that banner, it kind of covers that up a little bit. So I trimmed that off, and now I'm going to get started by adhering it down. So for the tiny pieces, I'm just using my glue gun. It's easier than trying to fit the adhesive on it. And then for the larger pieces, I'm using my glue adhesive. So I'm just setting down all these little images. They're so cute, and there's literally so many ways, even just with these same images, that you could set up this little scene. I just had a lot of fun making it. Scene cards are some of my favorite cards to make. I love fussing about, and I left all of this in so you guys could see kind of how I come to the card that I'm going to make. Like, as you could see when I started, I had thought maybe I was going to put little houses on it, and I didn't end up doing that, but this is kind of how I come to my end finished card, is that I kind of fuss about with things, and it doesn't always come out the way that I thought it would to begin with, and I just love that. It's always fun to see how it's going to turn out. So now I'm going to put the little trees on. And I like how you got one big tree and one little tree. And of course you could cut out a whole bunch of those and make a forest scene. Or you could eliminate the grass and just make a little air balloon scene where it's only in the air with the clouds. Would be really cute as well. So now I've got all my little trees, and I was just holding up my stamp to see where I want my sentiment to go. So first I'm going to put down that part that says, "You are growing up, up, up," which I thought was so cute. And I also want to put the happy birthday part. Now, I left this part in just so you, again, can see kind of my process, but I did think maybe at this point I'd like to add a little house there, and that would look absolutely precious. So that's another option of how you could make this card. But I end up actually not using the houses, and I use that little extra space to add in happy birthday. So I move up that one little tree, and then I stamp in the little happy birthday sentiment there. And I think that looks really cute. Then I just moved that down a little bit so they weren't completely even, and I do take a little bit of sequins. I felt it needed something just a little bit sparkly, and I wanted to cover up that little open space that's on the left, so I'm just adding in a little bit of 4mm sequins there, just to kind of give it a little something. And you can see that I have my Spectrum Noir pen out because I'm totally going to glitter it up. It needs glitter always. I love glitter so much. So I'm just adding those kind of coming off of the clouds just to kind of balance everything there on the card. And now I'm going to take my Spectrum Noir pen and sparkle up that little banner and also the little air balloons, and they look so cute glittery. So that was my card for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I will link all the products below, and if you do head over to the shop, you can use my coupon code CraftyGirl to save 10% on your order. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye now.